You know that moment when you're sitting in your living room, maybe watching your favorite show or enjoying a quiet afternoon cup of coffee, and you just happen to look up, and there it is, your ceiling fan. And what you see makes your stomach drop just a little bit. Thick, gray, almost furry-looking dust clinging to every single blade, like little dust caterpillars just living up there rent-free right above your head. And the worst part? You have no idea how long it's been like that. Could be weeks, could be months. You try not to think about it. Now, here's what most people do. They drag out a step stool, they grab a rag or a duster, they reach up, and the second they touch that fan blade, a massive cloud of dust comes raining down, right onto the furniture, right onto the floor, right into their face. And suddenly, what was supposed to be a simple 5-minute cleaning job turns into a 2-hour deep cleaning session for the entire room. Sound familiar? If you've ever had that experience, I want you to stay right here, because today I'm going to show you something that is going to completely change the way you clean your ceiling fan forever. It costs about $3, takes around 10 minutes, and the best part? Not a single dust cloud, not one. The dust stays contained, the room stays clean, and you walk away feeling like an absolute genius. This is the trick that cleaning professionals have been quietly using for years, and today we're putting it right in your hands. Let's get into it. Before we get to the solution, let's talk about why ceiling fans are so incredibly frustrating to clean. Because it's not just about the dust, it's about the way the dust collects up there. When a ceiling fan is running, the blades spin and push air around the room, and that air carries tiny dust particles with it. Now, as that air moves across the blades, some of those particles get stuck, and then more stick on top of those. Over time, the dust doesn't just sit on the blade, it actually builds up in thick layers, almost like felt or fabric. That's why fan dust looks so different from the regular dust you find on a shelf or a tabletop. It's denser, it's heavier, it clings. And here's the really tricky part that most people don't realize. When dust builds up like that, it becomes almost like a sponge. So when you try to wipe it off with a dry cloth, it doesn't just come off cleanly. Instead, it breaks apart and explodes into the air. That's the dust cloud. That's why you end up sneezing for 20 minutes and redusting your entire living room. There's also the problem of height and reach. For a lot of us, especially as we get a little older, climbing up on a ladder or step stool isn't something we want to do. And honestly, it's not something we should have to do. Ceiling fans are up high, the angles are awkward, and one wrong move on a wobbly step stool is just not worth it. So what we need is a method that traps the dust instead of releasing it, a method that works at a safe, comfortable height, and a method that doesn't require scrubbing, soaking, or spending half your afternoon in the process. That's exactly what this $3 trick does, and once you learn it, you'll wonder how you ever cleaned a ceiling fan any other way. What you need. Now, before I tell you this secret ingredient, let me just say everything on this list is easy to find. You can get all of it at your local Dollar Tree, Walmart, or grocery store. Nothing fancy, nothing you'd have to order online and wait a week for. Here's what you need. First, a pillowcase, just a regular old pillowcase, one you don't mind getting dusty. It can be a spare from the linen closet, maybe one that's a little worn out. You're going to love this part. Second, a step stool if needed, but honestly, many people can reach their fan blades comfortably from the floor, especially with the next item. Third, a long-handled duster, or even just a broom handle. You may not even need this, but it's good to have nearby. And fourth, here's the big one, a dryer sheet. That's it. One pillowcase and one dryer sheet, maybe $2 total if you don't already have them sitting at home, which most of us do. Now, let me explain why these two things work together like magic, because once you understand the science behind it, you'll never doubt this method for a second. A pillowcase works as a dust trap because it completely surrounds the fan blade as you slide it on. Instead of pushing dust outward into the room, the pillowcase catches all of it on the inside as you pull it back off. Every bit of dust that comes off that blade goes directly into the pillowcase, not onto your couch, not onto your carpet, not into your lungs, into the pillowcase. It's brilliant in its simplicity. And the dryer sheet, here's where it gets really clever.
Dryer sheets are made with a fabric softener coating that creates a slight anti-static effect. Dust clings to surfaces, partially because of static electricity. When you wipe a dryer sheet along the blade after cleaning, it leaves behind a thin, invisible layer that actually repels dust for weeks. You're not just cleaning the fan, you're protecting it. This is the part most people miss. They clean the fan, it looks great for a week, and then the dust comes right back just as fast as before. But when you use the dryer sheet method, you're slowing down the whole process. That fan is going to stay cleaner longer, and that means less work for you down the road. Step-by-step process. All right, let's walk through this together, nice and easy, one step at a time. There's no rush, this isn't complicated, and by the time you're done, you're going to be so glad you tried this. Step 1. Turn the fan off. This one might sound obvious, but let's say it anyway because it's important. Make sure your ceiling fan is completely off before you touch anything. If the blades are spinning even slowly, you don't want to reach up there. Give it a full minute after you turn it off to make sure it has completely stopped. Safety first, always. Step 2. Grab your pillowcase and get into position. Take your pillowcase and open it up wide. You're going to approach one fan blade at a time. Now, depending on the height of your ceiling and the fan, you may be able to reach the blades comfortably from standing on the floor, or you might want to use your step stool for a little extra height. Either way, only go as high as you feel safe and comfortable. Never overreach or strain. If you can't comfortably reach the fan blade without stretching awkwardly, use a taller helper or ask a family member. Your safety is worth more than any amount of dust. Step 3. Slide the pillowcase over the blade. This is the fun part. Take your open pillowcase and slide it over one fan blade, just like you'd slide a pillow onto a pillow. Let it go all the way down so the blade is fully inside the case. Now, here's the key move. Gently press the fabric of the pillowcase against the top and bottom of the blade as you slowly pull it back off towards you. Go slowly, nice and easy. You're letting the fabric do the work here. As the fabric slides off the blade, it wipes both the top and the bottom surface at the same time, and all that thick, built-up dust gets captured right inside the pillowcase. You'll feel the dust coming off. You might see the pillowcase bulging slightly with the collected debris, and when you pull the case completely off the blade and look inside, oh, you're going to be shocked at what came off of there. But here's the beautiful thing. None of it is in the air. None of it is floating around your room. It's all sitting safely inside that pillowcase. Take that in for a second, because if you've ever dealt with a dust explosion from a ceiling fan before, you know how big of a deal this is.
Step 4. Repeat for every blade. Most ceiling fans have 4 or 5 blades. Just go around the fan, one blade at a time, using the same pillowcase. It can hold a surprising amount of dust before it needs to be emptied. If your fan is particularly caked with dust and you're worried the pillowcase is getting too full, just shake it out gently into a trash bag before moving to the next blade. But honestly, for most standard fans, one pillowcase handles all the blades easily. Take your time. There's no rush. One blade, slide on, gentle press, slow pull. Repeat. That's it. Step 5. Take the pillowcase outside and give it a good shake, into the trash or into the open air. All that collected dust will fall right out. Then just toss the pillowcase into your washing machine. It'll come out perfectly clean, good as new, and ready to use again next time. Step 6. Wipe each blade with a dryer sheet. Now for the finishing touch that makes all the difference. Take a fresh dryer sheet and gently run it along the top and bottom of each fan blade. You don't need to press hard or scrub, just a light, smooth wipe across the entire surface. The anti-static coating from the dryer sheet will bond lightly to the blade's surface, creating an invisible barrier that repels dust particles. If you want, you can also wipe around the center housing of the fan, that little cap in the middle, and along any light fixtures attached to the fan. Those areas collect dust too, and the dryer sheet works just as well there. And just like that, you're done. Final results. Now, step back and look up. Go ahead, take a good, long look at that fan. Do you see what I see?
Clean, smooth, beautiful fan blades. No gray fuzz, no clinging debris, no dust caterpillars. Just a clean ceiling fan that looks like it belongs in a fresh, well-kept home. Because now it does. And your floor? Spotless. Your furniture? Untouched. You didn't have to move a single throw pillow or wipe down your coffee table afterward because all that dust stayed right where it belonged, inside the pillowcase and nowhere else. This is the part that gets people emotional, and I say that with a smile because I've heard from so many folks who tried this method for the first time and couldn't believe how simple it was. One woman told me she had been dreading cleaning her fan for so long that she'd put it off for almost an entire year. She finally tried the pillowcase trick, and it took her 8 minutes. 8 minutes, and the whole thing was done. She said she sat down in her living room afterward and just felt this wave of relief wash over her. That's what a clean home does for you. It's not just about the dust. It's about that feeling of peace and comfort in your own space, and you deserve to feel that. Maintenance tips. Now that your fan is clean and treated with the dryer sheet, here are a few simple things you can do to keep it that way with almost no effort at all. Try to do the pillowcase method once every 4 to 6 weeks. Now, I know that might sound like a lot, but here's the thing. When you stay on top of it regularly, the dust doesn't have time to build up into those thick, heavy layers. A fan that gets cleaned every month takes about 3 minutes to do. It's only when you wait 6 months or a year that it becomes a big production. Keep a spare pillowcase folded up in a convenient spot, maybe in your cleaning supply closet or under the sink, so it's always ready to go. Same with dryer sheets. When they're easy to grab, you're much more likely to actually use them. Also, if your home tends to get particularly dusty, maybe you have pets, or you live in a dry area, or you run the fan constantly, you might want to do a light dryer sheet wipe down every 2 weeks, even without the full pillowcase clean. This helps maintain that anti-static protection and keeps dust from bonding to the blades as quickly. And one last tip, when you're vacuuming your floors or dusting your furniture, go ahead and take a quick glance up at your fan. If you notice a little bit of buildup starting, take care of it right then while you have everything out. A few minutes now saves a much bigger job later. So there you have it. A $3 trick that takes 10 minutes, requires no scrubbing, creates no dust clouds, and leaves your ceiling fan looking absolutely spotless, with protection built right in so it stays that way longer. You don't need fancy equipment, you don't need expensive sprays or specialty tools. You just need a pillowcase, a dryer sheet, and a few minutes of your time. That's it. That's the whole secret. I want you to try this today or even this week. Just give it a shot. And when you do, come back down to the comments and tell me how it went. I genuinely want to hear from you. Did it work as well as I described? How much dust came off your fan? Was it more than you expected? Drop a comment below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to finally tackle that dusty fan they've been avoiding. And if you found this helpful today, and I really hope you did, please hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell right next to it. That way, you'll never miss one of our videos. And we've got so many more simple, easy, low-cost cleaning tips coming your way every single week, designed specifically with you in mind. Because cleaning your home shouldn't be a chore that wears you out or stresses you out. It should be simple, it should be satisfying, and it should leave you feeling proud of the space you live in. Speaking of which, in our very next video, we're tackling something that's probably bothering a lot of you right now. Those nasty, hard water stains on glass shower doors. You know the ones, white, cloudy, crusty buildup that no amount of regular scrubbing seems to remove. We found a natural 2-ingredient solution that dissolves those stains in minutes, and it costs almost nothing to make. You are not going to want to miss that one. Until then, take care of yourself, enjoy your beautifully clean ceiling fan, and we'll see you in the next video.